Imagine civilization on another planet, vastly much more sophisticated than ours. And imagine that they're sending an anthropologist to Denmark to figure out what's going on in Denmark. And this being, we don't know if it's a man or a woman, or maybe they don't have men and women. Maybe they just have one kind of being, which would solve a lot of problems. And it is a more, sophisticated civilization. They're sending an anthropologist, but this person manages to look like, this. We don't know if it's a person. Let's call it a person at least. This anthropologist from this. Let's call this being A, the anthropologist A from the other planet, is coming to Denmark, and manages to look like a Dane, man or woman, and manages to learn Danish very much, and manages to understand the Danish social codes and so on, and talks to the Danes and hears their stories, and hear various people talk about their lives and so on and so forth. But then A goes into a taxi, and the taxi driver is playing the radio. And A has never heard radio before, and in this taxi, the taxi driver is playing DRP3, the national state-controlled pop channel of DR, the National Public Service Broadcasting Organization in Denmark. And this is completely confusing to A, the intergalactic anthropologist. Because on this planet, where A is coming from, there's like no real communication. There is communication, but it's more sophisticated. They're not using words or pictures. Everyone is just hooked up. Sort of like, it's like a big Facebook, but more sophisticated, where everyone is like online all the time, and it's like an iPhone connected directly to your brain, which is broadcasting your brain waves the whole time. So everyone knows how you're feeling and what you're thinking and why you're doing it. So there are no screaming children because no one is feeling misunderstood. There are no screaming grown-ups either because no one is feeling misunderstood. There's no rock and roll because there's no frustration. The communication problem has been solved. And this kind of voice, then, on the radio, speaking very much different than the Danes speaking to each other, the intergalactic anthropologist doesn't understand what it should be good for. Like, who is this voice speaking to, and who would like to be spoken to with such a voice? And then the intergalactic anthropologist goes into another taxi of another color, and this taxi driver is playing another radio station. This taxi driver is playing the advertising radio station, The Voice. And all those questions, the intergalactic anthropologist asked him or her or itself in the first taxi are asked again in the second taxi, but with an even stronger intensity.